We're here today to talk about the legacy of Pro Hunter. My name is Nikita, I'm the creative director of Pro Hunter, and I'm sitting here today with its founder, Kamal Chararia, and leading Rolex vintage dealer, as well as my father. So, Dad, what was the inspiration behind Pro Hunter?
Well, one of my clients, who I made a huge Rolex collection for, was a hunter, and he asked me to design a watch that he could go hunting in, and it had to be a Rolex. So I thought about it, and I took an old Rolex Submariner date, and so the demands for the watch had to be anti-reflective. Had to have a military strap, so there'd be no bracelet, so there'd be no noise, no clinking noise, and had to be cool. So we had the Rolex Submariner date, DLC coated. We numbered it at the back so it would be unique. We took off the bracelet and put military straps on it, and the transformation was just amazing. Even I was shocked.
Is there an example of that here?
Yes, this is the first watch we did. It's a Rolex Submariner date, and it was not really meant to be a commercial project. It just was it's supposed to be one watch, and that's it. And the collector's name is Reza Rashidian, and he wore it on his hunting trips. And suddenly, all his friends wanted it. Everybody wanted it. And I did a little posting on websites, or watch websites and watch forums, and the demand was just huge, and decided to turn it into a business.
So I already noticed that when you take the bracelet off and you put the NATO strap on it, it makes it so much lighter, and you can wear it every day, especially with heavy activity in sports. What about the coating? How did you get it to be so scratch resistant?
Well, it's a diamond-like carbon process, and the whole point of putting a diamond-like carbon process is to have it anti-reflective. So when the hunters are aiming a shot at their target, the sun doesn't reflect, because on the normal watches, on steel watches, the sun reflects and it glints to the target, and the target runs away.
Am I correct in saying that Pro Hunter is the first company to start applying DLC coating to Rolex watches?
Yes, and it was perfect, because the hunters, it was perfect for hunting. And with the NATO strap, of course, when you're crawling on the ground, there's no noise. As in regards to a bracelet, the bracelet is always clinking and making noise. And and with this watch, everything started.
So why Pro Hunter? Where did that name come from?
Well, we had to choose a name that would fit into the dial. And it had to be something associated with hunting. So we came up with the name Professional Hunter, but it was too big. It was too large, it was too long to fit on the dial. So suddenly, it just came up, Pro Hunter. And it fits perfectly onto the dial, very easy to remember, which is important, and associated with hunting. So the watches, first of all, were never supposed to be used for anything else except for hunting. And then gradually over time, it became a fashion item.
So Pro Hunter must have been so busy. How did you do vintage and Pro Hunter at the same time?
Nikita, it was very difficult, as Pro Hunter was taking a lot of my time, as we were getting orders every single day. Yeah. And basically I couldn't handle it, and I was starting to neglect the vintage side, because vintage side is not as busy as the Pro Hunter was. And then you stepped in.
I did.
Took all the pressure off me from the Pro Hunters, and I started concentrating on vintage again.
With your vintage Rolex background, that means you really had a true insight into Rolex, and therefore we're able to pass on some of the heritage of Rolex into Pro Hunter.
Exactly. What makes Pro Hunter stand out is one, we were the first, and everybody associates us with DLC. And even when someone else is wearing a black coated watch, the first thing anyone asks, is that a Pro Hunter? So immediately the guy goes,
That is true.
So, you know, it's we have a tremendous brand value, and I think that's very important.
Do you see a pattern of similar type of people buying Pro Hunter, or is it
No,
a wide range of
the
people?
clientele is basically people who don't want to walk in a room and everyone's wearing the same watch as them. So wearing a Pro Hunter made it near unique, and they could walk into a room and they'd be very comfortable. It's not everybody is wearing the watch I'm wearing.
Right.
Whereas before, people were wearing maybe a Rolex Daytona, steel, modern, they'd walk into a room, there's 10 guys wearing it. You know, so it's this made it a little, it made it a conversation piece.
And would you say Pro Hunter is very much unisex, is what you're saying?
Yes, indeed. It's become a fashion icon now, so it can be worn by anyone. Even you have the young generation wearing them, and they love it because it's actually a very cool watch as well.
And as you said, you know, Pro Hunter is a conversational piece, which I fully agree with. And because of this, you haven't had to do any marketing, any advertising.
The only marketing we did was the people who actually bought it and wore the watch.
All word
They
of
were our
mouth.
publicity. We never paid any publicity company to publicize for us. Yes, everything was word of mouth. It was an amazing time. You cannot imagine the amount of phone calls and amount of emails and amount of texts every day. It was exceptional.
I mean, I wear my Pro Hunter pretty much every single day. What is the Pro Hunter that you love the most?
Well, now it is the watch you're wearing because it is exceptional. All the new people who are in this business, they may have copied our designs and doing similar, but no one has been able to copy this watch.
So I'm wearing the Military Well Time, which is the new collection that we launched last year, and it's done so incredibly well. I think the design aspect of this is amazing, and it's probably the first customized Rolex that has a well time function. Is that right?
Exactly. And it is an exceptional watch.
That's amazing.
We won't give too many secrets away how we've customized it, but I think Pro Hunter should go more and more into exceptional watches, which others cannot copy. Or if they try and copy, it'll be very difficult for them and very expensive.
So the growth of the company has been purely organic.
Organic, word of mouth, yeah.
Attributed mostly to very loyal clientele,
Yeah.
right? A lot of your clients from the vintage market as well.
Yes, indeed. But as the company grew, of course, then we had to grow with it. And then we had to have retailers, because new people were entering the market. And some of them wanted to actually had never seen a watch before and just seen it online. They actually wanted to feel it and touch it before buying it. So we had to have authorized agents.
And now we are in how many countries around?
I don't
the
know, you
world,
tell
probably.
me. Because I'm concentrating on vintage watches, and I've left Pro Hunter to you to carry on with.
Well, we're pretty much in about 10 to 15 countries around the world, very key cities. We have one in Zurich, we have in Capri, we have in Lisbon in their Fashion Clinic Man store, which is an absolutely amazing store with all the big designers in there, and they're doing very, very well.
Do you still have the process of having one retailer in one country?
Absolutely.
Or are you? Okay.
There is one retailer exclusively selling only in that city, and we do not
City
partner
or
with
country?
City.
Okay.
And we do not partner with anybody else, and that is in line with our brand values in terms of exclusivity and really having a partnership and an ambassadorship with retailers rather than just a vehicle for selling. And we've expanded into New York as well for the first time this year.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes, we have expanded into New York, and we are having a white glove service in New York. So we don't actually have a window front. It is by appointment only, and you have to contact the retailer. They will buzz you up to a very exclusive office, and they will have the entire Pro Hunter collection on show.
Excellent, excellent, well done.
And you have so many clients who are watch collectors. What do they say about having a Pro Hunter in their collection? How does it fit in?
Well, they actually love Pro Hunter, and most of my clients, as I say, do go hunting. So it's a perfect tool watch for them. And also it's a very cool watch. It's a daily wear watch. And most of the time, when a collector has purchased a Pro Hunter, he takes it home. The partner, the girlfriend or the wife takes it. I've had so many calls, emergency calls, even at midnight. Kamal, help. I said, what's wrong? My wife has taken my watch, or my girlfriend has taken my watch. I need another one. It was a very interesting time.
So I had that problem as well, which is why I made my husband his own Daytona. So look what I did to it. So I put a rubber strap on it, and I changed the dial to a racing dial.
Excellent. Nice.
And he absolutely loves it.
So, Nikita, how would you describe Pro Hunter in 3 words?
Exclusive, luxury, and discreet.
Okay.
And what about you?
Me? Oh, first of all, it's cool. It's cool. Again,
You're
I
right,
say
it
it's
is
cool. Cool, unique, and exclusive. And I see now that we've gradually gone into collaborations.
Yes, we are. So we're doing collaborations now, and personally, I think that's pretty much the future of our business, to work with like-minded companies. And the latest collaboration we did, I wanted to show you, is this denim GMT. Now, denim
Denim, the jean company.
Denim Jean Company. So it's a very famous jean company. It's particularly famous in Asia. It's a Dutch-based company, and they contacted us to create a bespoke GMT for them. And they said the key aspect that they wanted for the GMT was to have the hands as
Scissor hands. This is so cool.
So we did that for them, and they launched a few weeks ago, and the response has just been incredible. They had 300 orders within the first 48 hours.
Wow. Seriously?
They did, yeah.
Oof.
But we're not going to create 300.
Okay.
So we did that, and then we also completed a collaboration with a tattoo artist in Ibiza. I've got it here actually. It's called the Incadelic watch. And we did this on a Milgauss, a green glass Milgauss. And the idea behind this watch is you can basically wear any tattoo that you've got on your arm, on your body, you can put it on the dial. So it's like an extension of your wrist.
Plus, I think one thing we should mention also, all the Pro Hunters, every single model is a limited edition. We don't just make as many as once a product, once a limited edition has sold 100 pieces, that's it. We don't make any more of that product. I think that's quite important as well. But that helped a lot in people knowing that these were limited in production.
And that helps with the exclusivity.
Exactly.
Right? Not everybody, once the number's gone, that's it. You can't get it
Once
again.
the number 0 to 100 is finished for a particular model, it's not to be made again. So, Nikita, tell me, how long does it actually take to customize this particular World Timer GMT?
This particular model, it takes about 18 months.
18 months?
18 months,
wow.
Which is a lot longer than, say, a piece from our classic collection, which takes about 3 to 4 months.
Excellent.
And the reason being is it goes through an intense quality control process. Because we have to make sure that the technical adjustments that we've made, they function properly, they work with the watch. We also get bespoke requests for changing the cities on the ceramic bezel insert.
Oh, that's normal, yeah.
So if you imagine, it takes 18 months to make a watch, and then we also have a wait list, which is another 18 to 24 months.
Excellent, well done.
And what about the double red sea dweller?
Well, this has really an interesting story. When I started dealing in vintage watches, I actually loved the double red sea dweller, but no one were buying it. It was like, and I was buying and buying and buying it, and suddenly I had like 8 to 10 double red sea dwellers,
Wow.
but nobody was buying them. And I thought, no, there's something wrong here. So I actually studied them, catalogued them, Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, Mark 4 of different years. And I wrote an article, which actually was very inspirational, which is now taken up by every single auction house in the world. Every single Rolex dealer describes the Rolex double red sea dweller the way I described it. And I posted it on the internet, the article I wrote, and within 1 week, all 10 double red sea dwellers were gone, because this was the first time that collectors actually understood why they were buying a watch and what they were buying. Because before it was just a double red sea dweller, and now it was a double red sea dweller Mark 1, a double red sea dweller Mark 2, a double red sea dweller Mark 3, a double red sea dweller Mark 4, and some collectors ended up buying all 4. Then when I designed the Pro Hunter double red sea dweller, of course, it was a major sale. But of course, only 100 pieces.
I guess that's what also sets Pro Hunter apart, is that connection that you have.
Yes.
The connection the brand has between celebrating Rolex vintage, celebrating Rolex history.
Yes, because when I started, dealers weren't interested in giving knowledge to the public.
Right.
They were interested in just selling. They couldn't care what they were selling, or educating the buyer why this particular watch and why not this particular watch.
Right.
So I think I was the first dealer who educated the collector.
And because of that,
and
now
once the collector is educated and he understands why he's buying something, he will buy more.
And because of that, now every Pro Hunter in turn also has a story behind it.
Exactly. Every Pro Hunter design has a story.
And what are you wearing today? Because my eye has gone directly to your wrist.
It's a classic vintage Rolex Paul Newman Daytona, but even more beautiful, it was retailed by Tiffany & Company.
Wow. And it's got Tiffany & Co. on the dial as well.
It's exceptionally rare. Considering the watch is nearly 50 years old, the condition is exceptional.
And what's something like that worth?
A lot. Let's leave it at that.